Hi, I'm glad to be with you again today. I wanted to kind of talk about how the situation that we're going through affects us long term. So the first few weeks that we experience any kind of change in schedule or trauma, we have what we call adrenaline, right? And so that adrenaline keeps us going. We get hyper focused on what we need to get done, how we need to get done. And then as we've had changes, as every new mandate comes out and every new update comes out, we've had to stay heightened, right? We've had to stay aware, we've had to pay attention to the news, we had to learn what the schools were doing. And so for every time that happened, your adrenaline would spike and you can possibly make it through a week or two of just constantly making those changes. But by the time we watch this video, we're going to have been into this situation for a good month. And so once you pass that initial adrenaline, you're really living into the grief and the new normal and trying to settle into those routines. And so that's what I wanted to kind of deal with today, is that we as adults have been working as hard and fast as we can to keep normals and to keep things going smoothly. So I don't know if you've noticed at your house, but reactions may be different to the new normals, right? So our kids are really good at reading our stress levels. They may not consciously do it. They're not sitting there going, hey, she just got really angry over something minor. She's probably stressed. They're not doing that, right? Instead, they're trying to read the situation and figure out, why is mom so upset? She just snapped at me about spilling grape juice, but I spilled grape juice 2 weeks ago and she didn't get upset. And so they know that something's different. And so during this time, how we know that kids function is they start internalizing what's going on. And they think things like, I must be really bad, or it's something I'm doing. If I'm only good enough, bad enough, whatever it is, I can fix this. And so they're just like us, they want to fix things. And so a couple of things that we can do is self-care for us as adults, right? We always talk about putting that oxygen mask on first when you're on a plane. You've got to take care of yourself and find ways to deal with the stress, but also when those situations happen, just own your feelings. I know recently I was really snappy about how much lunch meat somebody was using on their sandwich at our house. And normally that wouldn't bother me, but in the back of my head, I'm thinking, when's the next time I can safely get to the store? Oh my gosh, all the thoughts, like, is there gonna be enough lunch meat to make it through this week? Things I didn't have to worry about a month ago, right? So, but I was a little like, why are you putting so much lunch meat on? And that made for a little tense situation at the Mitchum household. But then afterwards, I came back and I said, this is what I was feeling, guys. I was really worried about provision and taking care of you guys long term. And I'm taking on that stress when God is with us. And I don't know why I was so worried, but I'm human and I worried. And so that left room for my kids, who are a little bit older, to also talk about their stress and what's going on at their house, in their bodies, in their house, in their minds, with their schoolwork and their things. So I think these things are going to happen. How we use them will just strengthen our families. So we know God's with us and we say those words, but living into them and breathing into them. So a couple of tools that we're using at our house is, one is this book, and it's really kind of a silly book. It's called Breathe Like a Bear, but it's mantras that you can use to either calm down, to energize up, to think outside of yourself. And so I think that during this time, those are some things that we need to focus on, right? Calming down at different times, focusing outside of ourselves, and sometimes when we're really tired of what's going on around us, energizing up. So I'm going to share a couple with you, and then you get this in an email. So if there's more that you want, maybe you're like, well, you did a thinking outside of yourself one, and I really like a calm down one, or I'd really like something else. These are great for kids, but they're also great for us, right? So I'm going to do sending good thoughts, because that's how I'm thinking of you guys today, with good thoughts. So I want you to think of someone you love and imagine that person standing in front of you. If you could say something really kind to them, something to encourage them, something to build them up, maybe a scripture that you know, whisper that softly in your mind right now. You can say it out loud too, right? Now I want you to picture someone that you don't know as well. Maybe a neighbor that you see when you're out getting the mail. Maybe a coworker that you wish you knew better. Maybe just somebody that you can't physically be with right now. I want you to think about them. I want you to picture them standing in front of you, and I want you to say a kind word to them. It can be encouragement. It can be scripture. It can just be that smile that they may need. See, just like you, I don't know about you, but I immediately started calming down, right? I immediately started thinking of other people besides myself, people that I do miss, people that I didn't even realize were part of my normal routine, like the lady I see at the gym every day. But suddenly, she came to mind. And so that means that's someone I need to pray for and someone I need to think about, maybe even reach out to it. All of these end with a long breath in and exhale out. And a long time ago, Rusty McKee, who was on staff here, taught us to breathe in Jesus and to breathe out Jesus. So will you do it with me? I know it's silly, a little new age, but it's okay. We're doing new things during this time to survive. Ready? Everybody breathe in Jesus and then breathe out Jesus. Thanks and have a great week.